Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Prescribed Weather Briefing for Wednesday, November 5th. Looking at our burn projects, lots of them in the purple. You see them here up in the north, as well as in the parts of Utah. Even one small project outside of Lake Tahoe getting quite a bit of wind and low humidity now. Had a bit of a wildfire up here in northern Nevada in the last 24 hours. So a little bit of everything going on. Precipitation the past 10 days, we did have some decent precipitation over the northern tier of Nevada up into parts of the central Idaho mountains and the Sierra Crest, maybe the western part of the Sierra, not so much spilling over to the east, otherwise bone dry, basically south of the I-80 corridor all the way down. Not much of any rain past 10 days. Our flash drought for the last couple of weeks reflecting that quite a bit on that dryness. And our snow cover has pretty much disappeared off of most of the Sierra. The Wasatch, Uintas shrank quite a bit up in the central Idaho mountains. That's where you still have some lingering snow cover, as well as the Tetons, but not as much as before. Satellite imagery, powerful Pacific storm system coming in. Concern over the Sierra, lots of wind coming through, downslope and drying. So even though we see these enhanced clouds, most of the precipitation is staying along and west of the Sierra Crest right now, otherwise increasing high clouds and mid-level clouds elsewhere. We see that trough of low pressure here later this afternoon, but some wedges of dry air on the eastern Sierra going into parts of western Nevada, dry and windy where you see the tannish shade. Best moisture will be up in Idaho today. Very good dispersion. Surface winds quite strong. We see the orange to purples, 20 to 35 miles an hour. Humidity, you can see the low teens down south getting into the 40s. Further northwards. This 47% up near Reno is deceptive. This might be later on this afternoon or so, but we see some incredibly low humidities this morning. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, these transport winds, these browns are gusts over 50 miles an hour, widespread 30 to 50 mile an hour winds in these purple shades through here. Excellent vertical mixing. These are observations from this morning. You can see the relative humidity. The southern and northern Sierra front, basically, even in Reno Stead Airport, only 21%, despite a forecast min humidity of 47%. And look at those winds gusting 50 to 70 miles an hour. It's incredible downslope power of the wind. On Thursday, we see drier air finally pushing in. Another disturbance just off the coast. We're starting to see more active activity in the weather pattern. Winds diminishing. Humidity finally coming up. We see the transport winds also not nearly as strong, except across eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. Now, for Friday, things quiet down. A flat ridge of high pressure builds in. Some moisture pushes through parts of Utah at that time. Excellent overall dispersion. Surface winds, again, not really that strong. Mostly west-southwest, 5 to 15 miles an hour, maybe locally higher up in the north. You can see the humidity, upper teens. South, but they really rise up to 30, 40, 50% as you go further north. Transport winds picking up, especially across eastern areas. Now, if we look at temperature change between today and Friday, you see that we're quite warm in the eastern Great Basin. We see about a 15-degree cool down through there, as well as parts of Wyoming over the next 2 days. So the 3-day precipitation totals, quite a bit across the Sierra, but a lot of this along and west of the Sierra Crest, not much spilling into the eastern Sierra or Reno, northern tier of Nevada on northwards, some locally light to maybe some moderate precipitation in the Idaho mountains. Saturday, big high pressure ridge builds in. We start seeing drying. These will just be mainly high clouds, not really precip producing clouds. And then high pressure really builds in. And this is going to start causing some poor air quality issues, especially across the eastern Great Basin, and that high just sits there. Southern area is quite warm and dry, and they'll continue that drying trend right on through the 7-day period. But we start seeing a pattern change, troughiness developing, and moisture being pulled up from the south off the Pacific. So we could see a big pattern change in the week 2 period. We'll talk about that in a second. But no precip days 4 and 5, days 6 and 7. Precip totals, 7-day totals. Most of this coming up in the first 3 days. And the 8 to 14-day outlook shows that pattern change. We start seeing cooler, troughy weather moving onshore across the Pacific and a wetter than normal signal for much of the area, including southern areas that have been bone dry for the past couple of weeks. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.